Hi guys, it's Chris here from Some Bloke Who Travels a Lot, and today we are in Marrakech, but only just. After everything that's happened the last couple of days, I mean, by rights I should have given up and gone home, but I mean the thing was, this video was supposed to be a little bit off the wall. It was supposed to be a slightly wacky way of travelling down here to Marrakech. Little did I know how crazy it was going to be. When I saw the weather reports at the weekend, I really should have cancelled. Should have gone home, but I didn't, because I'm an idiot. Anyway, here is my tale of 4 trains, 1 ferry, 3 buses, 2 shuttle buses, 1 shuttle, 2 cancelled flights, 3 rescheduled flights, 1 flight I even managed to book on the wrong day. And what's that? What's that? Easyjet do a direct flight from Manchester, 3.5 hours? Right. Okay. Right. Anyway, this is what happened.
Well, greetings all. I don't know about you, but on a day like today, I quite fancy a trip to the beach or just sit by the pool. So I'm off to Marrakech. It's 7 easy steps. It should be easier, and each step is madder than the last step. Well, sort of. But the first thing is, I've got to get a train to Liverpool, and I can't get a taxi to the station, so I've got a nice walk in Lancashire's lovely snow, and hope that Northern Trains haven't cancelled the train. So that's step 1, the train to Liverpool. Let's see where we end up. Well, I think walking's probably the fastest way to travel at the moment. Saturday afternoon, and hopefully by Monday lunch I'll be sat by the pool with 24 degrees. That's the reason why I'm not just turning around and going back to bed. Well, that's step 1 complete. Just in case you're wondering where I am at the moment, this is the cathedral quarter of Blackburn, Lancashire. And right in front of me is the train station where we start step 2 and get a train to Liverpool. This is one crazy journey. Oh, it's been treacherous. I mean, the paths are like that, the roads are slippy, traffic spinning. Yeah, it is all a bit nuts, but look, here's a lovely Christmas tree. Makes it all that bit better, doesn't it? Right, let's go and see if they cancelled the train. I was expecting this journey to take some twists and turns. 7 simple steps to get to Marrakech, and right at the moment I'm on Preston train station getting my connecting train over to Liverpool. But what has just happened? Morocco have knocked out, sorry about putting my finger over the phone, Morocco have just knocked out Portugal. So on Wednesday night, when England beat France tonight, which of course they will, I will be watching the England-Morocco semi-final in Marrakech. How bonkers is that? Anyway, off to Liverpool, back with this story. We'll catch up with that one in a minute. Well, I'll take my hat off for the moment. It is rather chilly. But where am I now? Well, I'm heading towards step 3. All these steps, step 1, step 2, sound like Steve Wallace. I'd rather be having one of his step 2s. Anyway, step 3 is just around this corner. It's a boat. Yeah, not your normal route to Marrakech from Blackburn, but it's the route I'm taking. I'm booked to fly, sort of, to Marrakech from Manchester, and with all this snow, which seems to have melted in Liverpool, so that's good, I thought I'd probably just spend the night at a hotel in Manchester. They're all full, and the ones that aren't full want about £200 a night. So I thought to myself, £200? I could have an adventure for £200. So That's exactly what step 3 is. I'm in Birkenhead, Liverpool, and I'm about to get the Stena ferry to Belfast. All will make sense by the end of the video, or at least I hope so, but nothing seems to make sense. I still can't get over Morocco getting through to the semi-finals, and when England win, the game's just kicked off, and I watched the first half on my phone and the second half on the boat, in the bar on the boat with the big screen. That's the plan anyway. Right, I think the boat is that way. Right, let's go and find a boat. Now I think that is my boat just arriving. It's just after 7 o'clock, so nobody tell me what the score is. So I'm about to go and check in. I thought I could get on the boat at 7:30. So the plan is watch a bit of the game here on my phone and then enjoy the second half and hopefully not penalties in the bar. But if that's just arriving, they're not going to let us on for an hour or so. No. We're on the bus from the terminal out to the ferry. If I sound flat, it's because Harry Kane's just missed a penalty. And it doesn't look like I'm going to get to watch Morocco versus England in Marrakech. Right at the moment, it doesn't look like I'm really going to get to Marrakech, as we're boarding the boat late. According to all the guys at Stena, we're going to be at least an hour late arriving in Belfast. So I've got an 8:40 connection from Belfast Airport. It's not looking good. Not looking good at all. I actually got to watch the game mostly on my phone. The good news is I was joined by 2 great guys, Jack and Billy. And if you're watching this, big hello from me. And Jack, do get in touch. Jack's an editor, so maybe he might be doing some work on the channel in the future. You never know. Billy's from Scotland. I watched France knock out England from the World Cup with a Scotsman who assured me he was neutral. His giggle and the little jig he did made me doubt that neutrality. But anyway, it was a pleasure to meet up with you guys, and it was a pleasure to travel with you and have a nice chat on the boat. But England getting knocked out by France and watching it with a Scotsman. I mean, how much worse can this trip get? How much worse indeed. Now guys, this video doesn't focus much on the actual ferry itself. Simple reason is, previously I've travelled on the overnight Liverpool to Belfast, and I've made much more detailed videos on the crossing. So there's links in the description below, and there will be links on the screen at various points during the video. You can look at the cabin, the different lounges on the boat, and the layout of the boat, and my opinion of the crossing. Anyway, back to this journey, and let's see what happens. Unlike other ferries, Stena is not a dining experience. It did taste better than it looks. This was slices of pork belly, which I did enjoy. I needed something, some sustenance inside me before I hit the sack and went to bed. Well, here we are, home for the next 6.5 hours. I have my single bed. This is a 4-berth cabin. You can see the other 3 berths are down. This would be a fairly snug fit if there was 4 of you in here. On my other video that I did of the Stena ferry, I think we'll have to switch the light off in a minute to get a view out there. But the other video I did was their luxury cabin. So there's a link in the description below to that. And of course on the screen now. Yeah, this is, I've got a window. And I've got a bed, a little bit of hanging space, and coats hung up there, and I think that's the step ladder in case required. Quite a lot of PowerPoint. I suppose if there's 4 of you, lots of mobile phones. Thermostat. We have our ensuite shower. Yeah, it's all nice. I think well worth the money, especially as tomorrow is looking like it's going to be a nightmare. Now, I've mentioned that this is 7 steps to Marrakech, and out of the window there, that's Liverpool, which is all lovely. Slight problem. We should be in the middle of the Irish Sea at the moment, and step 4 is an aeroplane from Belfast City Airport, which is literally 8 minutes, 10 minutes in a cab from the ferry port. My flight is at 8:40. The boat was due in at 6:30. We're well over an hour leaving. Now, the captain has said we will arrive at 6:40 in the morning. 20 minutes to disembark. Spoke to the purser. He's very kindly going to get me off in the first group, even though I'm actually booked on the second group. So it's going to be real touch and go. So if we arrive at 6:40, let's hope the captain's got a heavy foot or a heavy wrist. I think it's all done in the wrist on the boat, isn't it? But anyway, hopefully he will get us there before 7 o'clock. Because if I can disembark and be in a cab, and I can be at Belfast City for, I don't know, 10 to 8 in the morning, 20 to 8. Flight's not till 8:40. No, my luck, it won't be delayed. The one time you want the sort of 20-minute, half an hour delay on a flight, I don't think I'm going to get it. But anyway, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to have a kip. Get up bright and early. And hopefully step 4 will happen. If not, I have no idea. I've been looking at various flights, but my route is crazy. As I've told you all along, this route is nuts. Nobody would think of doing it, apart from an idiot like me. Anyway, it's time for bed. I will see you in the morning, and hopefully after a speedy crossing of the Irish Sea.
Well, good morning all. I'm slightly chirpier because the boat has arrived early. It's about 6:10 and they're calling people down to the car decks. So bags of time. Plane's now been delayed. But that's not so bad because I've got a fair bit of time in that. One thing I've got to say, this isn't the best route to get to Marrakech. It's not how I'd sort of recommend it. It's fun. It's on the edge of the seat stuff, but yeah. So I wake up this morning to a text from British Airways to tell me that the flight's now been delayed. Instead of leaving Belfast George Best at 8:40, and if my maths is right, Belfast George Best is just behind me over there. So if my maths is right, yeah, I get to oh look, a boat. See how simple, easy it is for me to be distracted. We'll get a better look at that in a second. Anyway, I digress. Right, so I'm due to leave now at 10:10 from Belfast, which means I've got bags of time to get from the boat to the airport. Might even grab some breakfast there. Then my connecting flight doesn't leave Heathrow till 12:55, and my new scheduled time of arrival at Heathrow is 11:20. There's a chance I can get a sandwich unless they bump me up to a later flight, but if they bump me up to a later flight, there is one at 3 o'clock, so we should have bags of time to make Manchester for tea, and then we're going somewhere else, of course. Yeah, so this is step 3. The flight to London is step 4. I've now given the cat out the bag what step 5 is, which is the flight from London to Manchester. Yeah, I live 26 miles from Manchester Airport, and I'm currently stood on my way to catch a flight from Manchester Airport at 6 o'clock in the morning in Belfast. Yeah, I don't know why I did it either. I really don't.
Now, I travel with 2 phones. my main camera phone is the 14 Pro, and I also have a 12 Pro which has all my banking apps and my emails, my WhatsApp, everything that you would use on a normal phone. At this point I realised I didn't have my 12 Pro. Now perhaps if I'd lost this I really would have had to have gone home, which might have been the best thing under the circumstances. But luckily for me, I vaguely remembered leaving it underneath the television in my cabin, so I found a cabin steward and hoped for the best. Yeah, thinking I was all nicely organised. Didn't have a beer last night. Got up and right, is it there? Look, there he is. Cheers, pal. So, finally got off the boat. Delay after delay, there were cars blocking things in. I would have been having kicked if my flight hadn't been delayed. But that's it. Just go out, jump in a taxi, and we're off to George Best. So, that's, I think, the last boat on this trip. See you later. Slight update. Now the guys on the ferry very kindly gave me a ticket one to get me off the boat straight away, right? And you probably worked out I'm sat in a taxi at Stena Line Terminal, Belfast. My taxi driver can't get over the stupidity of the route. I've told him the full route and he's just like going, "You're mad." And then I said, "But yeah, but I make YouTube videos, so you're allowed to be mad." That's the argument. Let me take my hats off. Yeah, so, but the rule is the taxis aren't allowed to leave the terminal until the second bus has got off the boat. So even though I got jumped up to get off the boat first, the taxi driver's not allowed to leave the port until that second bus has come to the terminal, which is just through there. So we've got to wait. Now luckily it said the flight's delayed, I'm in no rush now, and we're off. It's a weird one. Book TUI, fly direct, much quicker. See you in a bit, guys. Now this video was originally meant to be one video, but as events over the next couple of days at both Gatwick and Heathrow, it can't all be packed into one video, and I wanted to get this up quickly. So this is part one. Part two will go up as soon as I've edited it, so do subscribe to the channel, please do. And if you ring the bell, YouTube will notify you when part two comes up. And part two is my attempt to fly from Belfast to London, and then my attempt to fly from London to Manchester. What happens? Yeah, as you can imagine, anything happens. There's hotels involved, there's shuttles, there's mega buses, there's trips here, there's trips there, we end up in other countries, who knows. Anyway, it's all in the next part, so do hit the subscribe button. If you've liked this video, if you've liked my experience, do press the like button. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in part two.